Welcome everybody, welcome to the tomb of illumination, where everything here is about creation, the true model of our earth, which is flat, all the physics involved, and how it relates to everything in existence. All ancient philosophies, legends, myths, religions. You cannot understand any of it properly unless you understand the model of our earth, the true flat earth model, because it's all interconnected, it's all related. The model of earth is of two hemispheres, so is the human brain. You have to understand this. So if you haven't been and checked out my videos before, go back and watch a few of them before you start asking me questions based on just one video. You cannot explain much in 29 or 30 minutes. So today's video is another world first. I do plenty of world firsts. Nobody has discovered what I've discovered, or the amount of things that I've discovered in the last 3 or 4 years. Nobody you know on this earth has discovered all the things, as many things as what I've discovered to do with life, existence and creation. You'll only find that on this channel. And there's another world first. I'm going to explain exactly what the BAPHOMET is. Okay? It's never been explained before. It's hidden in the bowels of Freemasonry. I'm not a Freemason, but I know everything they worship except for the satanic part. I mean, even that word's wrong, it's false. The evil, we know all about the pedophilia and bloodletting and murdering of children, all that sort of thing. That's right at the elites, right at the top that run the world. So this world is evil, but it's also good. It has a dual system. Everything in our realm is a duality. There's good and bad. You can choose which path you take. But if you want to, but this is only a passage, a pathway, a connection to the divine whole being, where we come from. We've come from and where we return. And our meaning in life, our purpose in life is to find singularity in this dual system, go back to singularity, where you will then rise to the supreme God state. You get a free pass go. You don't have to reincarnate, keep going back through the system till you finally wake up. You are now up there, on the right hand side of God, as they say. So that's your purpose in life, is to become singularity, because we come from a single place. So check out my earlier videos if you want to understand the flat earth system. But today we're talking about the BAPHOMET. BAPHOMET is a French word. Now you break it down, because our whole realm is created from sound. It's all about sound. We have a mouth, a black hole with teeth. Well, the black hole with teeth, that's like the dual system that come together and spin around the black hole of creation. It's the same thing. It's similar, because out of the whole of creation, which is a central vortex, is the black hole. Out of the black hole comes sound. How that sound is created is from what is described as the four winds coming together to create a vortex. And that vortex creates a sound, like a hurricane or something, a terrible sound. Well, that sound hit the perfect resonant frequency, and bang, created the sun. It ignited, it created an electrical circuit within the magnetic field. Okay? And that's what created the sun. And the sun is what creates life, gives us a figure, something to look at. Okay, and we're part of that system, because our pupils are all tuned to it. Our black pupils are tuned to the black hole of creation, the sound and everything. So we see it as lights, we see it as colour, we see it as images. It all comes from sound, so you have to understand the sound. So all words need to be broken down to find the sound, the correct meaning of the word. And like I say, the world is a dual system. It's false. Most of it's false, but we have this opportunity to go spiritual and understand the truth. So most of the words we read are false. If you break them all down individually, through etymology, you get a completely different picture, and in most cases you'll find it's the opposite to what we're saying and believing. This is why no one can interpret the Bible, because they're using the words. And when I start reading into this, there's something in there about words, and even the spoken word it's false. It's leading you down the wrong track. So coming back, we'll break down this word, BAPHOMET. BAPHOMET is how it's pronounced. But you go BAPHOMET. 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 So then you look up these words, those sounds, the etymology. And this is what we get. So, what's this one? Ba. Well, Egyptian mythology, a being's soul or personality represented as a bird-headed figure which survives after death but must be sustained with offerings of food. So they're talking about, if you go back and see my earlier videos, we talked about Horus, the divine being, one of the divine beings. Because Horus is represented in, is the falcon, right? So Horus is the divine being, so is Krishna, so is Buddha, and so is this character, so is Christ. They're all of the same divine being. Someone who's completely woken up, had a spiritual awakening, become singular, way beyond the common man. This man will know the truth and the way. It's when he knows. He knows how to read the truth. Etymology. The sound is very commonly made by infants and is interpreted by parents as a reference to themselves. See, babies, up until they're 2, they have a connection back to the divinity, divine place of creation. If you could talk to them, ask them who their friend is, they'll probably give you a name, their other half, that goes back in time. So we have Ba, and they've got a picture of the falcon here. Soul, the bird-headed figure, and survives death. He raises up, because why Horus is depicted as the falcon is because he's a connection between earth and heaven. He can fly up, come back down, land, whatever. He is the divine one. He is the most divine of all spiritual enlightenments and awakenings. That's why we have Jesus' story. He's the most divine. Everybody can have an awakening, but he is the most divine. Pretty well preordained, right from birth. Right from birth, they're the kings. They are ordained right from conception. If you want to understand that, check out some earlier videos of mine. After death must be sustained with offerings of food. So the food, the man, the bread, you've got to, it's meditation, saying the right words, having the right frame of mind. So there's your Ba. Then we go to form. So form, Latin formare, or Latin forma. So we go Middle English from Old English, forme, form, verb, Latin, to form, both based on Latin forma. A mould or form. Mould or form is basically your creation story. You are now reformed, mentally, consciously, whatever. But you go forth and multiply. So your knowledge, because you're now open to the connection. You're the Horus. You're the bird. You can go up and receive the higher frequencies, and you start absorbing this. Your mind is open to it, taking in the higher frequencies, and you're expanding your knowledge. Here's the wise one. form, reforming. And then me, and it's basically what we know it to be, me, himself, thyself. Like reforming thyself, it's creation story, okay? So, what have we got here? For, before, you know, you got form, and you go for if you want. For, before, it's related to your old past, but that's a bit tricky to understand, and you just think I'm making some weird self-interpretation, but no. So, we've got that out of the way, okay? BAPHOMET. So, the name dates back to the Inquisition and torture of the Knights Templar around 1100. Around 1100, who according to French chronicles of the Crusades, confessed to worshipping a heathen idol called BAPHOMET. So even that's a bit of a story. It goes way back before that. It goes way back to the beginning of time. All the cultures, everybody knew how the flat earth system worked, how they understood the zodiac sign, that zodiac symbol. So, some scholars believe BAPHOMET was simply a corruption of Mohammed, the Prophet Muhammad. And they're probably right. It could be, because Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna, Horus, Christ, they're all of the same. They're the same entity. It's the same divine awakening. But over the years, as the mystery and speculation around the Templars has grown, so too have the interpretations of the word and its meaning. One elaborate interpretation even drove the plot in Dan Brown's historical thriller Da Vinci Code, where the word Baphomet, is decoded and translated to mean Sophia, or wisdom. And it is. He is the man of knowledge, wisdom, wise man. He sits at the top. This is why the Masons worship this thing. It's not evil, it's not satanic at all. And then you think of the word satanic. Where does the word satanic come from? Well, it's related to Saint Turn. A saint, Saint Turn, saint. That's a saint. That's the cardinals. We have cardinals in churches. Why? Why do we have saints? What's higher? A saint or a cardinal? Well, it's the saint. The saint is on the diagonal in the zodiac. Some of you might have seen round depictions of something with the cross there, anchors or something, and fishing. It's also about water and boats. Is another it's part of the whole system. But the zodiac turns, doesn't it, with the sun? You get the saints. The saints are on the diagonals. They are part of the cornerstone the builders rejected. But you have to check out a few of my videos to understand all this stuff. So this is Levi's, as a man wrote about this, okay? So I'll start reading what he's got. So I'll start describing the figure here. Torch between the horns. The torch of knowledge is in the middle horn. It glorifies the pursuit of knowledge. We put a high value on that. It's really central to our beliefs in general, says Greaves. So these are satanic worshippers apparently. But you've got to understand the word satanic. You've got to understand what I'm about to show you and tell you, okay? So I'm not a Freemason, okay? Get that in your heads. So the torch, basically the torch between the horns is a man has his pineal gland. That's the son of man. And you go back to the center of creation. So there's the flat earth system, right? North, south, south. This is a cross section, north, south, south. Look at this. Is it shaped like a horn? What's up here? It's the sun. The black hole is inside this vortex where the black hole is, and the sun is on its horizon. This is why you have to understand Earth and its connection with the human brain. Two hemispheres of the human brain, or you can take that side as one hemisphere and this side as one hemisphere, and that's the centre where your pineal gland is. But That's creation, and it's created our realm. So we break it down again, just like a magnet. You've got two hemispheres now, with the gap and the sun we see up here. That's where man's pineal gland is. Enlightenment, that's why the Indians have the red dot there as well. All the cultures know about this. So it's a torch, a beacon of light. We hope children will see this as a beautiful work of art. There is nothing to be afraid of. That's what the children symbolise, says Greaves. Now, but there is a satanic version to that. I'm not getting to that. I don't understand any of that stuff, where that comes from. Somehow, because these are divine beings. If they've taken it through the divine system, they would never sin. They won't sin. They'll be the true gentlemen in Freemasonry. But at the top, there's a corrupt version of evil. They are satanic, bloodletting, and they do murder children, and, you know, pedophilia and all that comes into it. Trafficking children. These are the ones that rule our world today. They're running our system. As Levi wrote, the flame of intelligence shining between his horns is the magical light of the universal balance. The sun's in here. Universal balance. It's in the middle of the vortex, right back in the centre Arctic, place we cannot get to, called the place of inaccessibility. You cannot fly a plane over the dead centre of the Arctic, despite what they tell you. On the front of the statue, above the inverted pentagram, well, the pentagram, I've just done a video on the pentagram and its association with the star Sirius, the five-pointed star. Okay? You have to understand, look, it's a human figure here. Every man, probably every animal has a star. It's going deep. I'll go into that now. There'll be plenty of videos come up about that, I suppose. So you put your feet on there, and his hands and his head. The star. Now, why inverted? So they talk about inverted. Because it's the dual system we're in. There's a heaven and there's a hell. Or, you know, the stars, the starry sky, the firmament, and there's earth. And from creation, earth, we're inverted. We are expressed out from the central hyperboloid to create the toroidal field. So there's opposites. So sometimes you see this inverted. It's sort of related to the, we're back to front. We're backward in this dual world. We have to come back to singularity to find our way home, to meaning to life. Inscriptions. These have yet to be added, but the Satanic Temple gave details of their plans in a statement last year. So this is some group adverse to the some monument being placed somewhere. On the front of the statue, above the inverted pentagram, will be one of the Satanic Temple's 7th fundamental tenets. The spirit of compassion, wisdom and justice should always prevail over the written or spoken word. What was it just saying before about the written or spoken word? We're speaking the words wrong. The written words are wrong. And they mention the 7 fundamental tenets. All the 7 chakras, 7 kundalinis, 7 everything. 7 inert gases in the firmament, 7 colours of the spectrum, 6 plus pure white. You've got the 7 octaves, and sound, many 7s, 7 wandering stars, which are the 5 planets, not Uranus and Pluto, which in the 7 include the sun and the moon. They're the wandering stars. Don't be fooled by Pluto and Uranus, okay? Just leave those out of the picture. You don't need to know about those. The back of this stone slab will display a passage from Lord Byron's dramatic work, Cain, that reads, "Then who was the demon? He who would not let ye live, or he who would have made ye live forever in the joy of power of knowledge." So stay down here Cain and Abel. Cain slew Abel, Abel slew Cain. Cain slew Abel, didn't he? Well, Cain is the enlightened one. He slew his old way. And once you wake up, you become the immortal with eternal life, because you go up and keep going. But mortals just go back through the recycling system. You lose yourself and have to start all over again. How that happens is because it's all due to water. Water. All life comes from water. The water holds the memory. And the water's in your body. It's what you do with your mind is what happens with this water. And when you die, whatever's in that water, what happens to water? It rises up eventually. The hydrogen molecule rises up in our atmosphere. I've done plenty of videos on that in the recycling system of Earth. What happens to the hydrogen molecule? The group describes itself as Satanists, secularists, and advocates for individual liberty. It's all an individual thing. It's a personal thing within you. Thyself. We understand the satanic figure as a symbol of man's inherent nature, representative of the eternal rebel, enlightened inquiry and personal freedom rather than a supernatural deity or being. We actively provide outreach and participate in public affairs where the issues might benefit from rational satanic insights. So, he's standing with the two fingers up. This is a symbol. You know, you've even got the 2 to 3 ratio. You got 2 up there, 3 down here. Well, what's the magnetic cycle? Unless you've been following me, you wouldn't understand that either. A magnetic cycle is a 2 to 3 ratio. It's also connected to phi, pi, alpha, many things. So you've got 3 down here, 2 up here. That's the northern hemisphere. Here we go here, look. The sun's analemma is a 3 to 2 ratio. But at the same time they do this, because they're hiding something. That's the secret, you see. Or like that, they're hiding something in the palm of their hand. And it's all in the described in the Bible, isn't it? The palm of your right hand, something is raised up. God is in the palm of your right hand. He holds you in the palm of his right hand. The best known modern image of Baphomet was drawn in 1856 by the French occultist Eliphas Levi. In his book Transcendental Magic, Its Doctrine and Ritual, he envisaged a winged hermaphrodite with a torch between his horns and a pentagram on his forehead. So, why is it a hermaphrodite? Well, it's because man, in his physical being, has to find his feminine spiritual half of the dual system. He gains this feminine spiritual self to make him singular again. See, in the dual world, we've come into this dual world as separated at birth from our male and female. So we go and seek out our partner, our opposite partner. Okay, so even when you've found a partner, you're still longing for something, you're missing something, because that's God, the God in the system. Your spiritual half has to be reunited. Now, if you go through life with love in the heart and a beautiful relationship with a partner, I guess your heart practically there too, maybe. But and this is why the story goes on about the down and unfortunate and depressed have these spiritual awakenings, because they have never known love. So if they have never known love in the physical world, then God will give it to you. He'll bring you down. He'll give you the feminine spiritual half and unite you into singularity, where you find the love of God in your heart. You will never be lonely again. And then you'll start to understand the whole system. So it's all about love. You know, the Lord is love and good is God. It's all about purity. It's up here. So, and then, like I say, when we talk about the falsities of our realm, everything's spun around to mean the opposite. Well, these evil people at the top, they take the divine words that represent divinity and spin them around and make them evil. So they've taken Isis and created an evil entity out of it. Isis is the mother of the night sky, the moon and everything, stars, all the alignments that come into this divine awakening. Isis, what's another one? Isis, can't think of one. I wrote a couple of them down before, but I can't remember now. There's plenty of them. But one is also this adrenochrome people are throwing around, telling us that these devil worshippers or whatever are drinking the blood of children, which is the adrenochrome they get from terrifying a child, then they drink it. Well, just look it up. It's just silly, isn't it? Adrenochrome would be the complete opposite to pure wisdom and knowledge and self perfection, isn't it? It's the fear. So this is what they're basically giving you, the common man. They want to keep you in fear. That's why they bomb you, poison you, lie to you. They want you kept as their slaves. So the dumber you are, the less likely you're ever going to wake up and ascend, rise up to their level. So, although we get them worshipping and understanding all this, there is an evil element up there, and I don't know how it got there. Somehow they've come in the back door. They know the system, but they're using it for evil purposes. So that's the hell, that's the devil, actually the real Satan, devil, whatever you want to call him, in the dual system. So we have to, but at the same time you have to understand the whole earthly construct is a conscious construct. So you have to let all that go. You leave it all behind you. Don't watch it, don't hear it, don't listen to it. Stop watching your TV. Just watch maybe YouTube and Netflix, but even all that's just rubbish. But YouTube's good for understanding some sciences and connecting them with this flat earth if you want to study the true understanding of history and the physics involved with our earth. Because as above, so below, everything we do down here in science is up there and comes into the system. But it's all hidden from you, you see. So adrenochrome would be another false story. This is that someone starts spreading this sort of stuff. So that's what most humans have in their, well, a taste of it in their system. That's what keeps them down low. That keeps them down in their chakras, keeps them down in their sacrum where the cord snake stays stuck down there. You want to raise that snake. You want to play the right tune to raise the snake. As I say, as above, so below. The Indians and that, playing the flute and the snake will come up. Well, it's the same thing. Resonance within the human body. Raising up. Playing the right tune to raise your kundalini, raise your snakes. Then you have to understand what the snakes represent. Snakes are representing the magnetic field within the human body and earth, moon, everything. It's raised them up. There's the dual system there going on. It's the helix, creating the helix, which is, you have to check out my other videos, is basically what we get up through the tropical region, and it's the Milky Way that comes over. The DNA thing, because realise the Milky Way is the male aspect, and this vortex, central vortex, all the background stars are in, is the female.